Good evening. We're here with Pastor Bayo Lubemi. Um, can we get to meet you, sir?
Thank you. My name is Bayo Lubemi. I was born over 50 years ago. I'm a banker. I'm an accountant. Um, I'm a pastor. And of course, I'm a married man with a beautiful wife and 3 children. I studied accounting in the University of Lagos. I have a master's degree from Lagos State University, specializing in international business management, and an MSc from Leeds Metropolitan University, UK, specializing in corporate governance and ethics. I belong to many professional bodies, including the Chartered of Bankers of Nigeria. I'm also on the Council of Institute of Capital Markets Registrar, where I'm the chairman, president and chairman of council. And I also belong to other professional bodies in the financial service sector, the Pension Institute, Institute of Marketing, Institute of Directors, just to mention a few.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. Can we get to know a little bit about your career, your banking career? We've read a little bit about your banking career. How has it been rising up through the ranks?
Thank you. I started banking close to 33 years ago at the very tender age of 18, straight from college, secondary school, with school start. But I don't want to say it's by accident because I believe everything in life, according to the Bible, Ezekiel 29 verse 11, God has a purpose for everybody. And so, but ordinarily, my vision or my plan in high school was to become a journalist. That's the truth. And that's why up to today I love to read, I love to write, because my first love was actually journalism. But because of background that we had, because of finances, I had to work a little after school started, and that was the plan. Just work a little for 2-3 years, gather money together, and go to university. But somehow I got hooked. I got hooked along the line when I started writing the banking professional exams, and when I saw that, hey, I'm passing these exams, so why not just continue and also give my parents some kind of leverage, and of course took some of the responsibility, especially of sponsoring my younger brother. I'm sure I saw him just outside there, and by the grace of God, he's actually into politics now, vying for a seat at the House of Representatives. So, I took up his responsibility almost immediately after school started, sending him to school. And so, along the line, like I said, I sat for A-level at home while working. Then, with the A-level, I entered Unilag to do BSc account. So, all I've gotten was while working. And I've gotten, I think, some good certificates and certifications. All of them while working. And I entered the banking industry as a clerk. And by the grace of God, I rose through the ranks. And along the line, I had to move from one bank to the other, managing some of their subsidiaries, registrars, stockbroking, basically investment banking subsidiaries. Culminating my appointment as MD CEO of First Registrars, exactly 15 years. Exactly 15 years and a month or so ago. Actually, I assumed duty on the 3rd of January 2000 as the MD CEO at tender age of 35 or thereabout, and it was like, who is this guy? Because normally people that entered this place before are people who are on their way out of the banking industry, people who are close to 60 to retirement. They just come here, do 3, 4, 5 years and retire. But yeah, I am. 15 years after, I'm still here. And it's not been very smooth, rising through the ranks, but God has been so good to us. It's been gracious to us, and along the line we have met a lot of destiny helpers who nurture us while we're coming up in banking, who show us the way, and who are still mentoring us even up to today. I still have a lot of them who are still my mentors till tomorrow. I have the like of Mrs. Badijo, who used to be the MD of Union Registrars, I have Pastor Bed. Pastor Bed is my spiritual father as far as Redeem is concerned. I gave my life to Christ way back, but since I joined Redeem, picked me up. Today is a provincial pastor, and he's still there for me anytime. And of course, I also have another father, Mr. Olayemi. Deacon Olayemi was the president of General Stockbrokers at a point in time, and he manages his own investment banking outfit, Reward Investment and Services. So I've met a lot of people along the line. Destiny Helper, I've met a lot of people who are pillars, and I've met a lot of people who are also caterpillars. The one thing I try to do is I align myself with the pillars, and the caterpillars I try to dodge them so that they won't fool me down. So it's been a checkered career, and thank God.
You know, some youths might be reading this article right now, and they're thinking, maybe things are very bleak for me. My parents were probably not born in a silver spoon. Some people are more advantaged than me in the society. Can you just give them a little hope? You know.
Thank you. In one of my books, my first book, it's called Advancing Through Adversity. I recommend it highly for youths, for young ones to read. It's just like a story of my life, though it was generalized. But I'm coming out very soon, hopefully before the end of this year, with the volume 2 of that book, Advancing Through Adversity, my life story, or the story of my life, kind of. So that I will drive it home to link it to my story. I was born in a village called Ubim Village. It's been there. Pastor Ezekiel was with me, was it 2014 January? On the 2nd of January 2014, he was with me in the village. A village with barely 7 houses.
What did you call them on the village?
Olugbemi. My great-grandfather established the village. So it's Olugbemi village in Oluyole local government of Ibadan, Oyo State. Barely 7 houses. The only important thing there, then and even now, okay, maybe 2, a primary school and a church. It used to be an Anglican church, which died for close to 15-20 years, before I now went back to rebuild it and give it to Redeem as a mission field. So, born in a village with a peasant farmer as a father and a purchase trader as a mother. And my siblings before me, because of some circumstances that happened to my uncle, who died at a very prime age when he was supposed to travel abroad for further studies. He was the most educated then. And with that, my grandfather thought training anybody in school may result in that person dying untimely. So they stopped training anybody after primary school. You go and learn a trade. And that was also picked up by my father. So such that my elder brothers and sisters, brilliant guys, were not given any opportunity at all to go to school. But when it came to my turn, a teacher, an old man who had been a teacher in my village, living in my grandfather's house before I was born, told them that he saw a vision that this guy would be a great guy, but it cannot be unless he goes to school. And he encouraged my grandfather that whatever it takes, this guy must go to school. You hear me mentioning my grandfather. What about your father? My father was also alive then, but he was actually a farmer. He had a farming. He was in a farm settlement somewhere in Ondo State. So he was more of an absentee father. He comes home every quarter to see us. My mom was in the village with my grandfather and my other siblings. So he comes, so it was my grandfather that most people thought was our father. No, it was our grandfather. And I said, well, whatever it takes, if that is the truth, we will send these children to school. And let me tell you, there were challenges along the line. In fact, on the 13th of February, that was the day Murtala Mohammed was killed in 1976. That was the 14th, which coincidentally was a Saturday this year. Okay, was a Saturday that year too. I was to go for exam of that secondary school. Then And on 13th, Mashallah Muhammad was killed. And our village, only 2 vehicles, and only one vehicle comes to the village twice in a day.
Mm.
And because of the coup and the attendant killing of many of the military leaders, vehicles were not moving. So we had to trek. Myself and my grandfather had to trek almost 25 kilometers. So that on Saturday, I'll be able to go and write my exams. So we traveled, we trekked, and we got to the city in the night. We went for the exam the following morning. And as the devil we have, normally he sees something that will be great and he wants to stop the airport. A day before my interview, after the exam, of course I passed the exam, I was looking for the interview, I never had anything. So the night before the interview, my elder brother, my elder brother saw the interview paper. And remember, we goes to the village twice in a day. The first one will leave Ibadan around 5:30. So if you don't meet it, forget it. You won't see another one at 2 p.m. So my brother said, well, since I've seen this letter, I must get to the village. So he got to the village around 7:30, 8. Of course, our village was not the last bus stop. There was still another village before our village. So people said, no, don't bother you. It's late already. Before you get to Ibadan, they will have finished the interview. But my brother said one thing that day. And that's why today, of course, I would say he was one of my first mentors in life. Though my half brother, but great man. He said, whatever it takes, we must go. Since I've taken my time to come to this village, we can get to Ibadan together. Even if it is 2 p.m. that we get there, something must happen. So we quickly shower, enter my khaki uniform to the city. And we got to the city around 12 o'clock. And by the time I got to the school, not quite 10 minutes, my name was called for the interview. And I got admission to my secondary school, Inia School, Ibadan. And of course, it was challenging, it was tough. So much that in class 4 those days, if you're in class 4, you're a senior boy, you use trouser and not sleeve shirt. No money for trouser. So there was no money for trouser. So I still used my knicker throughout class 4. But in class 5, I used to do my long vacation from year 3 with an uncle, my maternal uncle in Lagos, who sells meat at Tafaji. So during the long vacation, I come to Lagos, we go to Tafaji together. And our landlord's daughter loves me so much that she gave me a trousers as a gift after the holiday. And one of them was not green, but it was dark green. It was good enough for so I had to mend it. And that was what I used in class 5 as a senior boy. But of course, the school authorities did not bother because this kind I was using knicker. He has a trouser. Whether it's dark green or green, it doesn't really matter. Green is green. So I was indulged, out of pity that just leave him. Whether it's dark green or really green, he's wearing trouser. So I wore a woman trouser actually in class 5. God be the glory, I'm still very close to that sister. And in fact, I employ her daughter. Our only son. I employed him recently. He's in our Abuja office. And she was even the one that got me my first job. Not in Union Bank now, not in the bank industry. Briefly after secondary school, I worked as, they gave me a title. They called me office assistant. But I knew I was a messenger. That was in Michelin, Nigeria, in Jora there. But it was the day I got there on the 24th of December, 1981. The manager saw me. He said, young boy, you look smart and neat. Do you want to work? I said, yes. He said, I'll give you a job, but promise me one thing. I said, what's that? You go back to school? I said, yes. I'll go back to school. So, okay, therefore, I'll give you a job. You want to start today? I said, yes. 24th of December, a day of Christmas. And when they told me my salary, 141 naira per month, I was very happy. And you know what? The first day at work, when we closed, the man called me. He said, young boy, tomorrow is Christmas. Take 50 naira dash. My salary for the month was 141, and somebody gave me a dash. 50 naira for the first time in my life. And let me tell you what happened earlier in 2001 when I was to register for school start. we could not pay. How much? 20 naira. That was the school start in 1981. We could not pay 20 naira. I had to go to the village for about 3 weeks to go and work. And even after the 3 weeks, the money was not enough. My mom had to sell her clothes and to make up for the 20 naira. Eventually, we were the last to pay. But thank God we were able to pay eventually. And we wrote our school start. Of course, my school start, I mean, I'm not the kind of person that will tell you that I had distinction. It's a lie. I didn't have distinction. I was not a dullard, but there were too many activities in secondary school because of the kind of money they will give me for 1 month cannot last me 1 week. So what I do is to turn it around. So every weekend I do business. I've been a businessman since secondary school. First since primary school. Even primary school I do business. Trading, selling in wood, selling firewood, going to farm to pick kola nut and whatever. After we pick the one for babas, we pick our own too. That we sell by the side. So I became a businessman or a trader since primary school. In fact, when I was in primary school in the morning, I would do village runs, go around the village to sell akamu and akara before I come back to the village. And luckily enough, the primary school in the community was in our village, so it's easier for me. Even as far as class 4, I became a prefect. I became the janitor, opened the classrooms, do timekeeping throughout from primary 4 to primary 6. But every morning I have to go around, sell echo, come back, that's pap, come back, the solid one, come back before you go to school. So secondary school too, I was also a businessman. The money they give to me, if I'm not cash, my mom will send a basket full of pap, solid one from the village. I collect it, sell. So whatever the same proceed, including the chaff of maize, the same proceeds should be my allowance for 1 month. And I knew it cannot last me. So every weekend I had to turn it around by going to different markets in Ibadan to go and buy fruits. So whatever fruit is in vogue was what I said. So with that, even when I finished secondary school, within the time I got my first job in Michelin, I was following my uncle to Tafagi to go and sell meat. So I sold meat in Lagos. And after I got the job, I didn't relent because I knew it was just temporary. So eventually I got into Union Bank. And that was when I started doing the banking exam. So it was not that very easy. And one of my books, there's a quote there. I said, the reason of your background is not an excuse for your back to be on the ground forever. So even if your background is out of poverty, it doesn't mean you'll be poor forever. If you have even health issues, it doesn't mean you will have a problem with your health forever. So it depends on who's a failure. A failure is someone that failed and agree that he has failed. Somebody who has fallen down and remain on the ground. But when you fall down, you pick up your pieces and the lesson learned, they move forward. So it was not that very. It was not a roller coaster. It was not an easy one, but God helped us. God helped us, and here we are today. While coming up in the banking industry too, there are challenges. The one thing that I have that was good for me was because even since the beginning, since my secondary school days, I gave my life to Christ, so it was easy for me not to fall into wrong hands, not to obnob or play with, go around with people who will not add to my life. And I told you that I met caterpillars and pillars along that school. I love the caterpillar. When I was in secondary school, we had this very interesting Baba, a principal, Pa JJ of blessed memory. Every Monday, we call it Money Tonic. He gives us a word of wisdom that will last us for 1 week. And there are two particularly that I can never forget, but one in particular. And that one says, okay, I will quote it two. One says, associate yourself with men of quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than to be in bad company. And simply put, in Yoruba, it means a sheep that are shared with goats.
Oh,
And with dogs, we eat excreta. That's simply put. So people that you mix with or you go out with may determine your future, where you get to. They either bring you down or lift you up. And the other one is that's why I've been told that I have to change that. He used to say 6 hours sleep for a man, 7 for a woman, 8 for a fool. So with that at the back of our mind, nobody sleeps more than 6 hours. When we're growing up, I mean, you can't because he says you are a fool. So I don't want to be a fool. Though as you get old, actually I think he was addressing the young ones not to waste their life sleeping. Even writing the banking exams, it wasn't a bed of roses. It wasn't as if I was passing. There was a particular subject that I wrote 8 times before I qualified. I underrated that course, management. Maybe that's why I'm good in management. Maybe not. I wrote management 8 times before I could qualify. The one thing also, thank God this is a spiritual magazine. That one lesson I learned along the line, and I heard from God clearly then. I tend to abandon anytime the exam is coming. I want to go for lecture for that 3 months. You won't see me in church, and I continue to fail that subject until the last year I qualified. God told me I had him. Say, Keo, continue to go for your lectures on Sunday. You continue to fail the paper. And I made up my mind. Okay, I will still go for lecture, but I won't go for lecture before church. It will be after church. So any lecture not fixed after church, I will read my own. And eventually I passed last year. Even when I was in my master's degree in LASU, any lecturer that fixes lecture for Sunday morning between 8 and 12 is on his own. I won't attend. I will make up. And I passed. So it was challenging. I was combining. In fact, by the time I was towards the last 1 year or 2 of my BSc, I was actually married. I was combining my work as a banker with writing professional exam, with doing my BSc and taking care of my family, both my nuclear family but as much as possible, I allotted time to each one. My master's degree also. In fact, the day I had my last baby was the day I was writing my first exams in my master's degree and my MBA in 1997. But thank God to God be the glory.
This has been a very inspiring. She wouldn't be a super proud or something more than. I want to bless God for your life, sir. If we go on, how has it been? How did you meet your wife, sir? Let's start from there because you love you here.
We're living in the same community. In fact, not just community, more or less the same. As we call it, compound. Those days, our own house was this way, their own was this way, but we have the same landlord. That's how we met along the line. We were in the same community. Yes, she came from a Muslim background, but sister that I was living with. Anyway, her mother was a Christian, her father was a Muslim. So almost all the girls were following their mother, the boys following their father. So she was a Christian, but not born again Christian then. Along the line, we met and.
Talking about your salvation experience, it sounds as if you gave your life to Christ quite early.
Yeah.
What were the circumstances around that, sir?
It was in school. It was secondary school. Of course, we were born in the Anglican faith, and of course, we were church goer. But when I got to secondary school, I think it was year 2 or so, we had this group. I actually gave my life to Christ in Anglican church. There used to be this group in Ibadan. Anglican Communion, they call them Second Coming of Christ Evangelical Group. They are basically evangelical of the Anglican. So they go from church to church to do crusades. It was at one of those crusades in 1977 that I gave my life to Christ, right in Anglican. And they, on Sundays, they do Sunday school for us because they are Pentecostal in nature. But at a point in time, they expelled them from Anglican in Ibadan. One vicar came who said they are in the Anglican communion. So along the line too, those days in secondary school, in our city in particular, we used to have this group called Association of Visiting Secretaries, AVS. It was part of, it was a school, secondary school evangelical arm of AF, Apostolic Faith. So they come on Tuesdays to do Bible studies for us. In most secondary schools in Ibadan in particular, every Tuesday they are in different schools holding Bible studies. So that was how I developed myself spiritually. And over time, within a year, I joined a Pentecostal church in Ibadan called the Prepared Evangelical Mission. I think the founder is I don't know whether it's younger brother, either immediate younger brother, or the immediate elder brother. I think it should be immediate younger brother of Baba M. Ojo, Reverend Jide Ojo. The church is still acting strong, very, very strict. In fact, deeper life. Those days we believe that if you're a medical doctor, you're a sinner because we believe so much in divine healing. We call it healing without using medicine. It was like logo. And we believe those days we have this belief that if you are a nurse, you are a sinner, or a doctor, you are a sinner. Television, that's a quotation. They will still believe in divine healing. Of course, television has its own positive and negative. Of course, the positive aspect is good. I mean, I use it to spread evangelism and so on. So you leave the negative aspect of it. So I developed spiritually along the line through this AVS, which is Apostolic Faith Evangelical Arm, and the Pentecostal faith I was going. But you see, as we grew too, youth must be youth. We had some slips, not deep, but compromises here and there. But thank God, we were restored back.
Thank you so much. Taking from your last question now, a virtue of integrity in your career, banking and all, and how critical is integrity to a professional, even as a Christian, even in business, and whatever it is you find yourself, character and integrity.
Integrity, I define integrity as saying what you mean and doing what you say. Sorry, meaning what you say and doing what you say. Not just saying what you want to say and do something. It's not do what I say, don't do what I do. I believe a man of integrity can get to anywhere. Integrity. Let me tell you, when I joined First Registrars, one of the conditions I gave to them when I was coming was they would give me free hand to operate, and they agreed. And I even came to take 1/3 of my salary in now merchant bank. Took a salary cut, I took a 2/3. I was on 1.8 million or thereabout. I came to take over close to 700,000. It was, in code, a stupid move. Some people say that I used stupid, but to me, I had God clearly. I also had a check through my mentors. I told you I have 3 mentors. Most of them are Christians. Apart from being also professionals in the banking or finance industry, they are Christian pastors, ministers of the gospel. So it was easy for me to go back to them to check anywhere I moved to. We check first spiritually before we pray together. We agreed before I moved. So coming here, I came with, and I've been in at least 4 or 5 places, setting up businesses for them. And one thing that has been the hallmark of this profession as far as I'm concerned is integrity, because in one of my books, I also quoted that there's no shortcut to success. The only shortcut is that there's no shortcut. And if you made a shortcut to success, your life will be cut short.
Mm.
So shortcut leads to cutting life short, or your career short. And when I came here, our first board meeting, of course, I had independent to work, so I put together all I wanted to acquire in terms of um, equipment, computer, whatever. And my chairman checked all I brought to the board. I never knew. He did an independent check before the board meeting. And at the board meeting, towards the end of the board meeting, he said, you know what, gentlemen on this board, I think we have not made a mistake by this guy that we hire. He's an honest guy. He said, Mr. Lugame, I said, yes, sir. You know what I did? Every item that you brought, that you want to purchase, every, we call it fixed assets or whatever, capital budget that you brought, I used my brother to check your computer, your this, your that. I was like, your printer, everything we checked. I said, but I'm wondering, they're so cheap. Are you sure they're not fake? I said, no, they're not fake. He said, gentlemen, this guy did not load these things. If you had loaded these things, I would have sacked him today. This would have been his first board meeting and the last board meeting in this place.
Mm.
And I said, young man, you have earned my trust. Keep it up. And he said, please don't put anything on the table. Everything on the table, whatever you are due for, I will ensure you get it. And he kept his promise. He kept his promise. He said, he told me I will help you. And God used him to help me. And every chairman I've had, even up till now, they've been fantastic people who have been very good to me. In fact, there was a particular one, I won't mention his name, since I even thought I did not deserve it. I asked him, you're supposed to have it. I said, no, sir. I said, no, it's your right. Ask for it. You know? There was a particular guy, I said, I should go. I said, sir, it's not. He said, come on, go and buy it. I will approve it for you. I approve it. Much more than what I thought I was due for. So, and it's because they've seen the pattern. I mean, when we came here, we took over a loss-making venture. Then within 3 months, we broke even. And within the first year, we made profit. And it was like, no, it has never been like this before. I mean, within a year, I made profit. And consistently, they've been giving me my due. I have no regret for coming here at all because I've worked with fantastic people, both my junior, my peers, and my bosses, both in First Bank Group, and people I've worked with both on the board and at the management level. And it's because one thing, not just integrity. If you want to be respected, you must show respect to others. I show respect to everybody, and I'm honest with everybody. And they know me in this industry that I don't compromise. They know it. And that's the reason why nobody has been able to nail me, because I try as much as possible. Professionalism, I don't compromise standard. No contractor will say that he asked for anything before. In fact, there was a particular one, almost embarrassing to me. We had given him a contract, he had implemented the contract. A year after, we met far away in China on a training program through from LBS. And said, oh, is he Mr. Lugame of First Register? Say yes, sir. Say yes, sir. I'm just a person, I supply so mansion to you. And I was shocked when I came. I asked to see you. They said, no, you don't have to see him. You have demonstrated to us, we have recommended to him. If it's okay, we sign up. And I signed up without seeing it. And the contract of 15 million was done without even seeing the MD. I was shocked. That is not the standard. Yeah, that's the standard. You don't have to know anybody here. If you have something that we need, and you bring it to another. In fact, that one we're almost signing on another supplier when I saw his proposal. And it looks more interesting than the first one. And I passed to my colleagues, my team, please go and look at this. Get this man, interview him. If this machine will do what we want, much more than what we are about to settle for, please let's go with it. And they went to say, oh, this is fantastic, it has more features, and I think we'll go and we sign up. So, integrity, professionalism, we don't compromise standard. No matter who you are, even if you are my brother, you must follow standard before we give you anything. Yeah, as far as this place is concerned. In fact, we are doing our branding now. The man that won the branding was shocked because we had interviewed 3 people. We were shortlisted to. His name just came from nowhere. Somebody just said, okay, let's give him a chance. And at the end of the day, we choose him over and above the others. And in most of these things, I get involved at the tail end. People have done their whatever first, interview, second. Maybe at the last level, I'm just do a critique of the last 2 and we choose without knowing him from Adam. And that's what we do here. And we have a reputation in the industry as people who don't compromise. And it's about leadership, and it's about the fact that one is a Christian in the marketplace. If you don't compromise, people will know, they will say it. And if you don't, you will hear it. You hear a story. I was somewhere today, and they're telling me about another competition that when they did this, everybody had. And it's true. Everybody had. If you do good, people will hear. If you do bad, they will say it. And my mother will say, Mashe, Lugumado. Don't do it. If you don't want anybody to hear anything, don't do it. If you do, somebody will hear. If you think it's a secret, there's no secret. Somehow, people will hear. So we thank God. The Christian training upbringing has really helped us in this industry.
I've been so blessed by this. I begin to bring this to an end. And it's evident that you have a grace of God upon your life.
Definitely.
Getting this kind of assignments at quite a young age and excelling in it over like 15 years now and all. How has it been combining the assignment also as an APICP, this mandate from a profession at home is also a full-time ministry also. So it's all-round responsibility. How has it been managing it, sir?
My one sentence answer, which I can expand, has always been, His grace is sufficient. And that's the truth. As a management expert, we have been taught how to use people, how to manage people to achieve your set goals, and that has really helped. The management training has really helped to also help us in the church. I mean, I became a parish pastor in 1996, and even before then, I've been given assignments, and I've moved from different parishes, from one parish to the fact. I was one of the most transferred those days in our church. When there's a challenge in one church, I'll be posted there. And for it got to a point that my mentor, my spiritual mentor then, there was a particular transfer that I wanted to do. He could not tell me. So when the meeting, prayer meeting of ministers, I said, well, so church is being closed down, and we can't afford to close down a church. We have to go and resuscitate that church. Who will go? I'm afraid to tell the person. I said, sir, am I the one? He said, yes, you are the one. And I said, I will go, sir. I was like, thank you. God bless. And he prayed for me, and I went. And within 2, 3, 4 weeks, we got a place of worship. That place is in Ikota today. You know. And by His grace, there's nowhere I've pastored that we won't buy a property of our own. We try as much as possible to do that. And last time, I don't raise fund. We did that once. We did a fundraiser that the money we spent was more than one. That was far back in 1994. In 1994 in Convenant Hall, which is now a provincial headquarters, Province 30, Lagos Province. So since then, I was just a minister then. I said, no, I will not. But God raises people to help us. And, so combining home, combining professional, I belong to a lot of professional groups. That's time as president, as treasurer, as in fact, I hold presidency of more than 1 or 2 different groups. And as the church. And recently, also, I was studying with the responsibility of coordinating all CSR activities in Redeem. So we are just trying to put that together now. We were appointed in December. We are still trying to see how to put it together, to put that up a structure. So there are a lot of responsibility. But one thing I don't do is, if I know I won't be able to do well there, I don't accept it. And there are a lot. But when I accept, it means I'm ready to give it a chance. I'm ready to give it. So whatever I know I won't be able to perform, I don't accept. And there are a lot of requests. Come and be chairman of this. Come and be this. Come and be that. I said, sorry, I'm okay. My hands are full. So it's been God. It's been God. Yeah, it's been God. Health-wise, God has given us cause to rejoice. I don't fall sick. It's just God.
Do you have time to rest once in a while?
Yes, I try. Get away once in a while to go and rest outside Nigeria. And at times I run to the camp. Or if I think I should rest, I run to Ibadan. I don't if I can rest. But at least outside Nigeria or maybe in the camp. At times I try to go and stay 2-3 days in the camp once in a while. And most importantly, every Holy Ghost service, if I don't have anything to do on Saturday, in fact, I try not to have anything to do. So I stay back in the camp. At times it's Sunday morning, at times till later in the evening before I go. So I try to sleep. And after Holy Ghost service, that's I can be on the bed in the camp till around 4 or 5. Before now.
I wish you didn't fully take your principal's advice of 6 hours, 7 hours.
No. It's not a daily thing. Just on the light age. Then he was talking to us when he was 10 years old. 13. I'm over 50 now. I have to slow down.
No, I don't know if our Pastor Felix also has another question, but I just have this brilliant one. The youth of RCCG, right? We want to bless God for how God has used you to take the church to this level. What do you think can be done so that, there's a vision that says that when this church will be standing when the Lord shall come? What do you think are the things that are missing in their lives, and what can be done to address those things?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we need to do first and foremost is leadership. Leadership by example. You see, the youths, the children, easily copy what others are doing. I don't think they don't know what we are doing. They know what we are doing. So it starts from we, the leaders. We must our life must be a life that shows example. We must show the light. If they see us doing certain things that are wrong, no matter what you tell them, they will say, well, if a zonal pastor or an area pastor is doing the same thing, or PICP is doing the same, it means it's not wrong. Meanwhile, it is wrong. So we that call ourselves leaders, from area pastor, from zonal pastor, from PICP, regional pastor, we must watch what we say and what we do. That's one aspect. Then there's a lot of things that's missing now yes, thank God for the idea of the GO to have youth churches around there. But I think we should also ensure that people that rise or that are saddled as way of leading those churches are also well grounded in the word. One thing is to know how to blow grammar, another thing is to be sound in the word. Because as a church, as a youth church, they call you, what do they call you? The happening church or whatever. Youths want to be where it's happening. But at the same time, yes, do those things that are the happening things. That whatever you are doing you should be to measure it according to what the Bible says. Compromise, we should not. It's good to you look your P, but do it within the ambit of the law of God. We must not compromise. We must not water down the message. We must correct in love. No, don't leave them alone. You need to lead them on the way of righteousness so that they will not make mistake. And of course, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. When he's old, they won't depart from it, including the youths. The youth church are our children. We must tell them the truth. He knows when they go out of the line. I scold him publicly. And that's to tell others that if I can conk my son in the public, I can conk anybody. So I don't spare the rod, he knows. But not the rod not beating you, but by advising them, by talking to them, and training. From time to time, not just spiritual training. Also, we need to also assist them to realize their potentials. And it is in training, either on the job training or bringing facilitators to come and help them to talk to them, bringing people with experience who have been there before or who have gone through the same way they are going through. And of course, I think one of the things that has happened in recent time is the issue of encouraging them to have their own structure, financial and otherwise. I think something has been put in place now, right?
Yes.
And I think there was a particular time that I met Pastor, your guy in Port Harcourt, and I told him one or two things, and I think he's been able to get that for them, because I was saying that provinces are ripping them off, the youth churches, but I think that has stopped now.
Yeah.
Because also, when you are able to raise this, it will help, because you don't want to come to a church where we clap hands. They want a church where everything is bim. But even with the bim, the word must be there. So, but without the bim, they won't come. It's the gym thing that we invite them first, that we bring them first. But along the line, with the gym, you give them the word. And like Daddy Joe used to say, you don't dress a fish that you have not caught. Catch the fish first. And when you catch a fish, it's dirty. It's in its dirty nature. But along the line, you wash it. And washing by the word. So bring them, let them come the way they are. They want to come and listen to music. Fantastic, give them good music. But the word should not be watered down.
So the last question from us, for me, before I'm sure you have one or two. You talked so much about mentoring. You have been blessed by mentors. Now, coaching and mentoring as an HR professional, I know is expedient in bringing up people. Do you say you have time to mentor and coach some of these upcoming people?
Yes, I do. And coaching and mentoring, it's not like the coaching you do in football, that you must bring them together to coach them. You coach them online. Not necessarily one-on-one. It can be through messages. It can be through WhatsApp. If I have a mentee that I've not met, I don't even know her. I don't know how she come in. But she's a PhD candidate. She's married. But we do our mentoring through WhatsApp. So she will post questions to me. I will answer her. In fact, there was a particular one that she posted to me for 1 month. I forgot. By the time I gave her, she said, "Oh, this is worth waiting for." That the 1 month that she has waited is worth it with what I sent her. And what all I sent her was within 5 minutes. Then for 1 month, I forgot. I was just okay, I will respond later. But by the time I said, I first apologized. I'm very sorry that this is coming very late. But these are the things you asked for: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And by the time she got it, she thanked me. By the time I thanked her back, she said, I find another one immediately. Because she was the one that should be thanking me, but I was thanking her. And I was apologizing to her. I don't know her from Adam. So, mentoring is also showing by example. You mentor by example. What you do, they see you doing it. If you are doing the wrong thing, the children will copy the wrong thing, the youth will copy the wrong thing, those who are coming behind you. There are some people who are my mentees that we have not entered into a formal mentee-mentor relationship, but I'm mentoring them without me knowing. He said, sir, this may shock you. We've not spoken one-on-one, but you are my mentor. This and this and this I've learned from you, through you. So, they're all over the world. As far as outside Nigeria, they ask questions: how do you do this? How do you do that? Can you link us up to somebody that can? So, mentorship is not just about talking to people from time to time, but also through your write-up, through your actions,
Your books.
through your inactions, through your books, people are mentored. But it's good to have physical mentors that you can talk to from time to time. And of course, I'm mentors to many. Even some people are seniors, but I'm mentors to them.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks so much, sir. As somebody that have worked closely with you and studied you from close range, I discovered that you have so much people around you, and a lot of some of these people at a point have disappointed you seriously, and yet we don't see you discarding completely. How have you been able to manage yourself and you are not overwhelmed in the midst of this kind of people that some coming like a scorpion and just
Well, it's simple. Jesus had 12 disciples only, and yet there was Judas. But he didn't say because there was Judas, the others will go to place. And he knew Judas from the beginning,
Oh, yes.
that he will betray him. Yet, he kept on mentoring them. People are bound to disappoint you. But you won't say because somebody has disappointed you, then you will. You see, my people says that if you close your eyes when bad people are passing, when good people passes, you won't know. And if you say you also want to close your eyes to cut down all trees in the forest, you cut off good ones also. So people are bound to behave and misbehave from time to time. But if you have 20 people and only 2 or 3 have misbehaved, or if you have 24 people and 2 misbehave, it's still the son of Jesus. And I'm not Jesus. So I will expect that if I have 15 and you have 20 and 5 misbehave, still okay. If Jesus, you have 12 and 1 misbehave. If my own is 1 misbehaving every 5, I think it's okay. Life continues.
This one may appear a bit tricky, but I want to throw it, sir. As a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, who have grown through the rank and by the grace of God, you are where you are today. If you have the privilege of changing a policy, one policy, Redeemed, which one will you change?
You said it's tricky. Let me tell you, I'm a man of authority. But if I have the opportunity to change policy
Or advice.
or advice, it's not changing per se. I will look at the ordination policy. It's good to give people opportunity to excel, but people have abused it a lot. And at the GO, at the top, may not be able to know everybody. That's why he has. That's why you have regional pastors, provincial pastors, APIs, CPs, and zonal pastors, and so on and so forth. I think we should not be not the policy per se, it's the implementation. And that speaks to not the leadership, but those of us at the middle level. We compromise a lot. And a lot of people say, oh, Shebi it is certificate. We get a certificate now. A lot of people today go to SOD or do SOD not because of the knowledge that you acquire, not because of the spirituality behind it, but because of ordination. I think we should de-emphasize ordination, de-emphasize certification for ordination. That's not to say those things are not necessary. I believe they were introduced because people are being funny. But I think there should be a way to also checkmate people. We should de-emphasize the issue of ordination. And when you are 4 years, you are ordained, blah, blah, we should de-emphasize it. I'm not saying people should not be ordained. But it should not, like I said, it's not policy per se. The policies are right by the implementation. And it's not the problem with the person at the top, but of those of us who are implementing. So I think we should talk to ourselves as pastors at our level. Parish pastors, zonal pastors, area pastors, and so on and so forth. Under no circumstances should we compromise. Because I like this person, I don't like that person. Therefore, even when this person is messing up, you promote him. No. So I want to say it's not the policy that is wrong, but the implementation that is wrong, and there should be proper monitoring of our pastors. A lot of our pastors are abusing the privilege they have. So there should be more reorientation, constant training and retraining. We should not be too, I want to be sure of what I want to say, the language I want to use. We should not be too program oriented. Program. No, it's not just a program. It's not program. It's about what you want to put across in that program. Thank God over the years that the GO has listened to people, has listened to us who are at the lower level to also, because I was saying that every month there one program or the other, national program. Some of them have been grouped together before. There's family affairs, but before you will do good women, you will do good men, you will do youth, you will do national. But now I think they've been grouped together. I think now it's about 3 or 4 national programs a year, which is a good one. Before those days, people have got wrong because every month there is one national program. I think, and along that to other things that I believe we are making progress. And I have to be frank with you, with the people at the aim of affairs, especially the admin and personnel, we have made a lot of progress in the past 4 years. And I think, but there's still a lot to be done. Our people should still be trained and retrained at every level, even at the regional pastors level. If we need to send them on international training, let it be, to see how they are doing on our climbs.
And finally, sir, Shift is an initiative of the NYA. Have you heard about Shift before now? And what is your impression about Shift?
I heard about Shift. I think it used to be done in Lagos alone before now, but I think it's now there's Shift Abuja, there's Shift Port Harcourt, if I'm correct, and Shift Lagos. And I think over the years it has been very beneficial, not just to current members of the team, but to outside. I think it's basically an evangelical tool to bring people into the fold, especially people that will ordinarily not come to your church.
Yes.
But you can use the program to win them to Christ. I think it's a laudable program, and I recommend that every pastor, especially provincial pastors, should support the Shift initiative in terms of sponsoring people, their youths to the programs, and even in terms of financial support.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We've had a wonderful session, life-changing, transforming. I'm using change, I'm using transformed. But it's my prayer that at the end of it all, we will not miss heaven.
Amen.
And all that concerns us, the Lord will continually bless.
Amen.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
We love you. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.